Have you ever felt so completely lost that the only thing that makes any sense is to just get in the car and drive? Well, today's explainer is a journey right into that feeling. It's all about the power of finding those quiet roads when you really need to find your way back to yourself. And look, this isn't just about a road trip. It's about what happens when you finally give yourself enough space to hear your own thoughts again.
And that's really the feeling that kicks this whole thing off, isn't it? It's not some sudden, loud crisis. It's a quiet, heavy weight. A feeling that something is just fundamentally stuck. This line, wow, it just captures that internal gridlock perfectly. It's a burden that's become so familiar, it's just there, a part of you.
So, okay, let's dig into this quiet departure. What actually pushes someone to leave everything behind, not with a big bang, but with a whisper? Well, it all starts with that moment you recognize that the life you're living, it just doesn't fit anymore. See, this whole thing wasn't sparked by one big dramatic event. Not at all. It was the slow, steady accumulation of these quiet burdens. You know, a love that just kind of faded instead of breaking, a career that completely lost its meaning, and that awful, sinking feeling you get when you realize you're just walking in circles, living a life that feels like it was made for someone else. It's like the death by 1,000 paper cuts. And this is a really, really important distinction to make. The journey wasn't about seeking thrills or, escaping reality. No, it was about something way more fundamental. It was a search for space. Just enough quiet, empty space for all the jumbled pieces of life to finally settle where they were supposed to without being shoved into place.
And then, once you're on the road, the journey itself starts to work its magic. The healing doesn't come from getting to some final destination. It comes from the simple, patient, repetitive act of just moving forward. You let the road's rhythm set a new, calmer pace for you.
And think about what's not there. There's no loud music, no podcasts, no frantic search for the next exit. It's just the hum of the engine and the cool autumn air. The focus shifts away from all that internal noise and onto the world outside, letting a simple dotted line on a paper map be the only guide you need.
And this right here, this is the first huge lesson. Just stopping by a creek and watching how nature moves. The water doesn't fight the rocks in its path. It just flows around them, persistently and without any apology. It's such a powerful metaphor for letting go of the struggle and just trusting the process of finding your own path.
It's funny how sometimes the most profound wisdom comes from the most unlikely places. Far away from self-help books or therapy, a moment of pure clarity just arrives at a routine stop in the absolute middle of nowhere.
So picture this, a tiny town marked by nothing more than a single pulsing traffic light. An old man at the gas station asks a simple question that, for someone feeling as lost as this, is almost impossible to answer. And the response, "I don't really know," isn't met with judgment, but with a simple, knowing understanding.
And there it is. This one piece of wisdom completely reframes the entire journey. It suggests the road has its own purpose for you. It's not about aimless wandering. It's a process of unforgetting. The goal isn't to find a new place, but to just keep moving until you remember the person you were before you got so lost.
Okay, this is the real turning point. After that conversation, the journey moves into a much deeper phase. It's right here, in absolute solitude under an immense starry sky, that the true breakthrough finally happens. This is what that space we were talking about actually feels like. Away from every demand, every notification, every single expectation. The silence is so profound, so absolute, that your own body's rhythm becomes the only sound you hear. And it's in that quiet that you can finally stop running and just be. So let's break this down, because this shift is huge. The old way was all about this frantic chase, rushing toward people for validation, scrambling for easy answers, pushing towards some prepackaged life you think you're supposed to want. But the new way, the one discovered in the quiet, that's about arriving. It's not something you chase, it's something that comes to you, gently and inevitably, just like the dawn. So where does all of this leave us? What is the final, lasting lesson from this whole quiet road trip? Well, it's a complete redefinition of what it even means to start over. And this right here might be the most important point of all. We so often think of healing as some kind of repair job, that we're broken and we need to be put back together perfectly. But this journey teaches us that the goal isn't to be fixed. It's about creating enough space for the questions to settle and learning to be okay with not having all the answers.
So here's what it all boils down to. This is the ultimate takeaway. Starting over isn't some dramatic, explosive event. It's not about burning your old life to the ground. It's a quiet, patient, continuous process. It's the small decision to just take the next gentle turn on the road, and then the next one, until one day you look up and you realize the view ahead finally feels like your own.
And that really leaves us with one final thought for you. You might not need to pack up a car and drive for days. Your quiet road could be a walk in the park, maybe an hour of silence before the world wakes up, or just the simple act of turning off your phone. The real question is, where is that place for you? The place that gives you enough space to hear yourself think again and to start taking those gentle turns back to yourself.